The San Jose Sharks put the NHL on notice that they've got some young, exciting players, and they've shown the old guard there might be some new kids on the block. We'll talk about all of that and more after this. But first, if you want to be a part of the show and join the conversation, chat with us and fellow Sharks fans on the page or the app, across the socials, the YouTube chat, the X, the Instagram, the Facebook, the thread, the at Discord, the Reddit shenanigans, and of course, all the youngins over on the TikToks. Find that and everything else at tealtownusa.com. And of course, if you want to help support the pod, at tealtownusa on the Venmo machine helps us out, helps Puck Guy with his internet. Maybe perhaps if we can get a little bit more, help him with a new MacBook, perhaps. And we'll appreciate it. But thank you so much. And thank you for everybody who's already been a part of the show. I am pleased to be joined by my fellow cohorts, Mr. Ian Reed and Mr. Tyler. How are you guys doing this afternoon?
I'm good.
Sharks win. It's all good.
Sharks win. It is all good. And let's put that banner up. There it is. The Sharks beat the Colorado Avalanche in what can mostly just be described as a fun, good, well-played hockey game. And yeah, guys, we had talked a little bit about maybe the Sharks starting to put some good things together, but I will put it to you guys first. Initial thoughts, Tyler, on the game.
I mean, I think we need to put a big portion of this game on Yaroslav didn't ask Askarov, who's just, easily, I think, our best goaltending outage this season. As you can see at the bottom, so I think we got the text in the wrong area. 947 save percentage.
Yeah.
I saw .947 save percentage -- I'm like, huh, okay. But yeah, no, it was a fantastic game. I mean, Ned was pretty decent in our last outing, but I mean, it's a 947. What more could you want? And against arguably the best team starting out. I mean, we've literally beat the top two teams currently this season, back to back. What more do we want?
I couldn't even add more to that if I wanted to. Ian?
Yeah, I mean, it's a situation where you caught a team on the second half of a back-to-back, and I think what the Sharks did really good was they did enough to hang around in this game through two periods, and then they really put it on in the third, and that is how they beat the Colorado Avalanche today, because they went through and, I thought that third period was their best period of hockey they played, and it was good enough to carry them into the overtime and pull out a win here. And Yaroslav Askarov again, to Tyler's point, he's a guy who Sharks fans have been, I think, a little impatient with so far, and justifiably so. I do, I think that he's had some pretty stinky performances this year, but it's games like this, and I think that as he strings more games like this together, and I fully believe that he will, I think people are going to see that this is why people are so patient with him, and why he gets, why he got so many games in a row, because the Sharks need to get this guy going. All the eggs are in the Askarov basket. Yeah. There's no plan B.
Right. I mean, we did see the goaltender being drafted not too long ago, but that's way project status. Yeah, exactly. There is no plan B. This is Askey's net. So, I think there was some concern to bring in a guy like Nedeljkovic if he would really push Askarov. And we saw him start kind of slow during the season. And I mean, it kind of mirrors the game as well. The team started slow this afternoon with Martin Nikas. I mean, right out of the gates, 30 seconds in. And this is why Colorado requires you to start the game on time, because they can burn you right out of the gate. I mean, Cale Makar and Devon Taves, puck moving pair right there. But if you got Cale Makar on there, it's like having an extra forward, guys. And he just led up Nikas basically
Nikas.
one-on-one. Yeah, Nikas, thank you. And Natchez just buried it. I mean, nothing. I mean, but besides going off the weird deflection, right off Lil, was it Lilljegren, I think, who his skate had kind of.
Yeah, that puck's going wide and it hits Lilljegren's skate and goes into the net. Which is exactly what he's trying to do, right? It's a play where you're just putting it through the crease, hoping that there's a stick or something, and unfortunately, Lilljegren skates what the puck hits and it deflects past Askarov.
Yeah, there was a couple of real bad bounces off of skates. I know that we almost ended the game in the third because of a bounce off the skate. That I think that's just one of Colorado's things, is get bodies in front of the net and just make things happen.
Yeah, and as that period went on, I think the Sharks kind of got their butts in gear. I think it was a really good wake up call to have Natchez scoring that goal so early, because I did like the fact that the Sharks again didn't let it spiral out of control, right? We've seen the team, give up the early goal and then just completely say it's not our nights and file it in. Mm-hmm. Instead, you get Macklin Celebrini scoring at 18:21, scoring another one of those, within 2 minutes of an ending of a period type goal. I mean, again, what you want to see out of your future captain and the leader of the team. And, again, showing some real good, shot IQ on that goal, getting the assist from Toffoli and Mukamadula. And again, we just continually see this iteration of the Sharks team. Every time they get jabbed, we'll jab back. And that's what I'm really seeing as an identity from this team, is they'll get up after they gotten their licks in on them,
Yeah.
Macklin Celebrini is on pace for like 127 points right now.
You know what? It's really fun looking at all the projected stats early season, because they're so they're unable to be kept. Isn't Eichel at like a 1.9 point per game right now or something like that?
Something silly, yeah.
And I'm like, Eichel's great. He is not keeping that up.
No, obviously. But I do like.
But guys, I think I would like to say, though, as much as we do say, okay, pump the brakes, because I know that all three of us are pretty pragmatic guys on this show, right? I mean, we want to see it proof on the ice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the fact that you're getting to hear Celebrini's name next to not only Sharks legends on the points, production status as far as how old he is and in how many games, but he's also coming in on like guys like Bossy and guys like, even Wayne as a young playing forward. So I think now it might be time to recalibrate our expectations, because I know I had them initially set kind of, the floor is going to be very, very high with Celebrini. Now I'm starting to kind of shift to the other side. Okay, what's his ceiling like?
I think he absolutely can be a 100-point plus player in this league. I think he's smart. He's so smart.
And a guy that I think he could play his game after was who he played against this afternoon.
Yeah, him too. I think I think he's going to easily be a 100+ point player in the league, though. I don't think he's going to fill the net at the rate he's filling the net. I think, don't get me wrong, I don't want to take anything away from the goals. The goals are really nice, but I do think that the playmaking is more what's going to carry him. But is he a guy though that I could absolutely see putting up 30-40 goals a season? Absolutely.
Yeah. I think, one, you're comparing him to MacKinnon, and I want to say, maybe points wise we can expect something like that in the future, but I don't see the game being like MacKinnon. MacKinnon is kind of a bit of a unicorn with his play style in the NHL. I would expect,
but MacKinnon, what is MacKinnon? So, but I post this to you, and we'll get to bars on the battalion in a minute. Thank you. We'll get that super chat up in a second. But I question this to you. What is Nathan MacKinnon's calling card? His two-way game, right? It's going back and forth on either side of the ice. What is Macklin Celebrini's game known for?
I think he's going to be more of akin to like a Patrick Tays.
Jonathan Taves?
Sorry, Jonathan Tays.
Patrick, yeah, you want? I think it might be a Patrick Taves because he could be a hybrid.
Wrong Tays.
I think I think like again, like I know, like I think Nathan MacKinnon is more of a goal scorer though. I'm just looking through the numbers here. Like obviously, he's had a couple of really good seasons where he was like at 40, 50 goals, and I think like that's kind of the ceiling. But like the definitely the points that he puts up on the assists, like the 80, 90 assists, like I could easily see Macklin being in there, because I think when you got guys like, and this is the thing, right? Everyone's like, oh well, what would Will Smith be without Macklin Celebrini? I don't have to think about that because we have Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini, so I don't have to think about the alternative of what Will Smith would be without him. We have him, right? So I think when you got guys like that on the wing, like.
Yeah, let's get to Super Chat real quick. Bards, the battalion coming from the Great White North. Thank you so much. $5 Canadian. Anyone notice on the ASCII poke check that the first player into the Shark Zone was a Colorado player? What a bad change from San Jose and that ASCII saved us from. Yeah, I agree. I think that is something that we need to tune up a little bit, and that's a fine-tuning maturity kind of thing. Ian.
There you go. Yeah. Sorry, you got a little robot-y there for a minute, and then you vanished. Do you want to just read that again? Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry. Anyone notice on the ASCII poke check that the first player into the Shark Zone was a Colorado player? What a bad change from San Jose, and thankfully ASCII saved us from it. So I was just saying, one thing, as far as like a maturity part of the game is shift changes and being diligent about that.
Yeah, and this is not the first time we've had to call them out on that. I mean, we had to do it in literally the first game, like as much as Nedeljkovic had his issues. Literally both times that we got into trouble, the first player into the zone was not a Shark.
Yeah.
And sometimes not even the second player in the zone wasn't a Shark.
Yeah, it's funny because it's one of those situations, obviously, where if that goes the other way, we're not talking, this line change was there. We're talking about Askarov coming way out of the net and bobbling the puck again, which, I mean, he's been definitely, I mean, that aspect of his game has definitely been an adventure. But I think it's just, again, it is the result of a poor change. And I think, there's things that obviously, like, this is still a young team. This is something that they're going to have to get better at, and they're learning on the job. But yeah, I mean, thankfully we're not talking about Askarov giving the game away, and we're talking about how he had a solid game tonight, which he did. And I'm glad it's not overshadowed by an unfortunate misplay to the left there.
Yeah. Well, let's get to the second period. In that second period at 4:07, Philip Kurashev, a guy when I was watching, in person in LA, I felt, a guy that his game you saw it come on. He was very, very slow, I think, as the team was at the beginning, and then just his game is starting to get better and better. And since that LA game, there's just something that has switched on in that kid. And he is just playing some lights out hockey right now. But really, the stick to itiveness on that play, with Lilljegren and Klingberg, shooting it off from the point, Lilljegren, with the initial follow up, and then Kurashev coming to clean up the mess. That's what he's got to do to be productive in the league, right? He's got to be in within that 1-2 foot radius of the blue paint in order to score, and that's where he was when he scored that one.
Yeah, Philip Kurashev's interesting because like I was really down on this signing and I was really kind of just down on him to start the season. And he's been really good. Like I think that the second line that they've had with him, Eklund and Wenberg has been just an absolute revelation. But like I was really down on him because initially obviously they split up Smith and Celebrini and put Celebrini with Kurashev and Kurashev, when he was in Chicago, he kind of had the same thing, right? Where they put him with Bedard and nothing really worked well there. And then they kind of moved him around until they found a spot for him. And that's basically what they've done here, right? It didn't work out with Celebrini, and I'm glad that that experiment ended as quickly as it did. But with him on the second line with Wenberg and Eklund, I mean, they've been so fantastic. It's nice, like it's the first time I felt like in a long time where it's like the Sharks have legit options from their forward group. It's not just, oh, it's the Lund line and nothing else works. It's not Toffoli, Smith, and Eklund and nothing else works. Like this line has given the Sharks the ability to threaten with two lines, and it's been a long time since we've been able to say that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And by no means any shade to Wenberg. I absolutely love Wenberg, and I do actually hope that they keep him. The only thing I would like to change on that line is I really do want Misa, because love it or hate it, and I think we're seeing it more and more as Misa does not shoot. He's a passer, and I want him to get on a line with two shooters, and that's currently Kurashev and Eklund. I would
those guys can both drive play. Like Eklund is really, really good at driving play. I don't think we talk enough about how good Eklund is at driving play.
Yeah.
So would you then, who's playing center on that line?
Misa.
I would have Misa play second line center, and Wenberg would be a lights out third line center. He has excellent defensive game. That we would still have that shutdown line, and him and Graf together would be incredible. They'd still be able to make plays, but it would be far more of a defensive focus game.
Yeah, I do think though, but in the chat there are saying like Misa didn't really have a great game, and then look at, and this is going to happen, right? Like there's nothing that can prepare you for playing the Colorado Avalanche. Just like earlier in the season, like everyone's like, oh man, Dickinson looks so bad against the Hurricanes, and like yeah, but there's nothing that can prepare you for that game as a defenseman. And I think it's a very similar situation here where obviously Dickinson not in lineup tonight. We don't know what's happening there, but I think I think Misa being on that second line tonight, I don't know how great that goes. I agree. I think overall I'd like to see that experiment happen.
Yeah,
but I don't think tonight would have been the night to do it.
Yeah, maybe this wasn't the game for it, but I mean, how many of us were saying that Will Smith wasn't ready last year? I mean, how long was that the narrative? I mean, you're right.
I don't think that Misa, like the difference is like at that point. Like there was points last year where I was like, I don't think that like there's no point this year where I've been, Misa needs to go back to junior. Or I wish I've never said at any point this year, I wish Misa could go to the AHL. And I think that's the difference between Misa's game this year and Will Smith's game to start the season, where I'm like, can we just send this guy to the Barracuda already and let him get some confidence back? Like I haven't been there with either of them.
No, I completely agree. Is just, I wish we were having the experiment with some of the earlier games, like against Pittsburgh, who is projected not to be one of the stronger teams. Is like that would have been.
Yet here they are.
Yeah, I understand. Yet here they are is like number one in the league. We won't go there. I don't understand it. Nobody understands it. But it's just there's a part of me that feels like some of the lack of success he's having is because as much as the players he's with aren't bad, they're not known for being the most offensive presences.
Sure.
Graf,
Graf can
great player.
Put pucks in the net, but he's being asked to not, like that third line isn't being put out there to score goals.
Exactly. It's I just don't think we're putting him in the best place for success right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, someone that's had a lot of success, and I mean, will continue to have some more success, is Nathan MacKinnon, because he scores his 10th goal on the season, and this one coming at 9-10, being a little of the, how shall we say, controversial variety, with the net coming off, and
it's a goal. I don't know if you go through the rule, it's a goal.
Yeah, the net coming off didn't affect the play whatsoever, and I heard somebody say something about supposedly they were saying that Skinner knocked it off intentionally. It really doesn't matter if it was intentional or not.
It doesn't matter because no one pushed him into the goal, right? Like Skinner goes into the net, like and the thing that like doesn't help Skinner's case at all is he dipsy doodles around Askarov's stick and then can't miss. Like he can dipsy doodle around the stick, but then crashes into the net. Like there was like I understand why people are upset, but that is the goal was the right call. It was absolutely a goal.
Yeah, I mean. It was literally not even half a second before the puck went in that the net's knocked off. That's a goal.
Yeah.
The overtime would come into play because the Sharks and the Avalanche basically held each other pretty much in check for that third period. The Sharks playing a really, really nice, complete defensive game and also putting on some pressure on themselves. I mean, the stats show that the shots kind of even out in the third period. Overall, it's not a great night on the shots counter, but I think played well enough for Askarov to be able to tend the net and be able to field the shots that he was seeing and getting them into overtime. And yeah, do you have anything to add on the third period there, Ian?
No, I think it's kind of goes back to what I said to start the show, right? Like the Sharks hung around with them. They were getting outshot heavily through two periods. And then in the third period, when Colorado, obviously, they've played back-to-back games. I think their game was earlier yesterday too. So you go in, you're playing two games at a weird time and you come in and you outshoot the team and you kind of put the pedal down a little bit. And I thought that's what the Sharks did really well. There was no, you know what I mean? Like they pushed to try and win this game. Yeah, Colorado had their chances too, but this was the only period where the Sharks outshot their opposition and they played well enough to not only keep the game tied, but they had their chances to win it too.
Yeah. I mean, if we look at just the shot breakdown, the first two periods just weren't even close. The Sharks were really hanging on and were just capitalizing on what they could get. 15-6 in the first, 15-5 in the second. Like we're going to the third period, shooting 1-3 against the Colorado Avalanche, and then we come out with 7-9. So we actually got two more shots than them. I don't know if that's down to, as people are mentioning, the Colorado's back-to-back or just the Sharks, it's been inconsistent.
I think it's a little of both, right? I think it's a situation where you do want to come out and look at the Sharks do have a game tomorrow, right? So they're going to be in this exact situation tomorrow. But I think it's a situation where it's early in the season. You still need points. I mean, I don't think this team's a playoff team by any stretch as good as they've been of late, but you want to be able to show teams like a Colorado and New Jersey that, you're in the league for a reason. And so, I mean, you have to, when you have an opportunity like that, when you have a team that's going to be playing on its final fumes, you got to push a little bit, even though it might, maybe it affects them tomorrow when it's their turn to play Detroit on the second night of a back-to-back, right?
Yep. Yeah. And Jerry F., thank you so much for the super chat. I'm celebrating Sharks win with my two sons. That's awesome. We're glad that you are able to have that time with your sons and able to enjoy the win too.
We don't know how if there's anything we've learned in the past seasons, man, enjoy the wins when they come, because you never know when things are going to turn the other way.
I think that the hope this year is just 500. I think that's the hope.
I just want to see like I said, I've kind of said the whole thing for this season for me is a similar season to what Anaheim had last year, where they didn't really improve in the standings but they improved by like 20 points. And if you can get that kind of improvement this year from this team, I think it's a step in the right direction. I understand that people want to be low. They want to draft Keaton Verhoff, whatever, Gavin McKenna, whatever have you. But like at some point, like you have to start taking steps to get out of this. Like you just can't lose forever.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be Edmonton circa, what was it, 2014 through 17 or whatever.
Right. Yeah. So, like when they, you had Nugent Hopkins, Hall, and Everlay, and it just never turned around.
But no, I agree with you, Ian. Is the goal for this year is get as many points as possible. there is very little likelihood that the Sharks even get close to the playoffs.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I think that's crazy.
Again, it would require so many teams to just screw up for them to even get close. But
yeah, well, the Sharks do, make their case with the overtime goal with Philip Kurashev, another guy, and another goal for the guy that, again, really has come on as of late. Wenberg getting the assist there, but really just a nice snipe job. And you know what? I mean, just good on the team. And again, I think you're just seeing a guy starting to really blossom in the right position, and showing some real good chemistry with Wenberg right now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, he's scoring a half goal a game, which
I'll be right back. Give me a second.
Okay, not a problem. Which is by no means anything to sniff at for, a young Sharks team. I think we would have killed for, having more players want a half goal per game pace.
Yeah, and somebody's saying right now 3 points out of a playoff spot. Yeah, no, I mean that's true. But if you look at the league standings, they're 29 out of 32. So again, I mean, they're kind of they're in that 25 range with some middling teams right now. I mean, we talk about some changing of the guards. I mean, Vancouver is still kind of floundering at 500. Nashville, right now below 500. You've got the Rags at 500. I mean, and like Ian was saying, right? Anaheim took strides last year, and now they're starting to move up in the standings. They're number 13. So,
well, early season success is going to be dependent on so many factors. One of which is just how strong is the schedule coming out of your first few games. I know the Sharks, we've played a lot of teams that are projected for playoffs early, and being that we have the wins we do, I'm not disappointed.
Hey, Ingo, thank you so much for the €10 super chat donation. It's his first super chat message. Greeting to you all Sharks fans out there. Well, thank you so much.
Welcome
Ingo.
to the show.
Yeah.
Welcome. We got also kind of interesting question. Hungry Coyote, has Kurashev ever been known as a sniper?
I'm not sure.
I think he's
say sniper. He's a shooter.
The poor man's complimentary player.
Right. I think there wasn't really too much of like a book on him, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like in his time in Chicago, his best season was an 18-goal season. So like he's definitely never been a significant goal scorer. Obviously, those Chicago teams are really, really bad too. That cannot go unsaid. But I mean, look at again, it's getting some goals from him right now is great, but this wasn't in his in his wheelhouse. Like this hasn't been the player that he's been for any consistency.
Yeah, and Mitya Reskanov, thank you so much for the $4.99 donation. Have we talked about Lilljegren's injury? Hope he's okay. Yeah, I think it's time to kind of talk about that one because we kind of just barely got through the game. Yeah, Tim Lilljegren exits the game in the second period with a weird bounce of the puck off the glass kind of into his face and wasn't looking. I think he even had his head cocked on the bench, and did not look good. Was hunched over for a couple minutes, and then they ended up escorting him to the back, and ended up getting the message on the call that he wasn't going to be back in the game.
Mm-hmm. It's sad, right? Because obviously we don't know what the injury is, but it's so scary when a puck in the face because like it could be an eye. That's obviously not good for a defenseman if you can't see. It could be a jaw, heaven forbid, and then that's a nightmare for a hockey player. Broken jaw is, obviously a problem. It makes it hard to hold weight and.
I hate that we have to put up every super chat, but Michael Molasses, the $2 super chat donation, he knows he puts the money on there. I gotta say it. Ian, I love the No Nut November cause of TTUSA. Thanks.
I think you meant to say lost, but
Yeah.
Love you, bro.
Michael, we love you, man. But you know what? We're straddling the PG-13 there.
Yeah, look at so obviously it's anytime a puck hits somebody in the face, it's a scary thing. If we're talking broken jaw, that's bad. If we're talking hit in the eye, that's also very bad. Um, it's so obviously I hope it's nothing serious. Like let's hope it's superficial and it's like, yeah, he couldn't return tonight, but like he can come back tomorrow. I mean, concussion too, right? I mean, you can get concussed by taking a puck in the head. There's a whole lot of bad things that can happen. The real shame of it, I mean, obviously it's not good that he got hurt in any situation, but I feel like Tim Lilljegren has played his best hockey in Teal this season so far. Like he's done all the things, like a lot of the things that I criticized him for last year. He's definitely turned around. He laid that big hit last game, not yesterday, but the previous game, and I was so proud of him. It was like a baby, just so proud.
He's made the most of his opportunity here as a Shark, coming from, a Leafs team where, there was always wanting more from him. So again,
the reason why he didn't, he would end up out of the lineup in the playoffs was for a lack of physical play. And I think he's really, because I'm not asking him to be Scott Stevens, right? Like no one's asked. But sometimes you have to make contact. It's a contact sport. Like sometimes you have to make some body contact, and I think he's done a much better job of that this year.
I mean, again, engaging on Timo,
people, right? Yeah, I mean, 100%.
Yeah. Michael Molasses, yes, you do keep the lights on. Yes. And Mitya, thank you again for another super chat, 199.
Thank you.
Just get out there that Reddit said it was in the throat.
And in the throat is also obviously super fucking scary. Like,
you got to worry about your windpipe,
and just
trachea,
all the muscles there. It's just like none of that is good. So I mean, especially with no time to react like that. Obviously, I hope Tim Lilljegren's fine. It'll be interesting though, because obviously someone in the chat was like, "What do you think about Kyle Burrows, who was put on waivers today?" It's going to be interesting to see when the Sharks finally make a decision on Sam Dickinson, to see what they're going to do there, because obviously he's now played his 9th game. If he plays another one, his contract is obviously going to start. So the Sharks have to decide what they're doing there. I'm hoping that I like Sam Dickinson. I would not be upset if they kept him around. I'm not going to lie. I know the only downfall to Sam Dickinson being here is it really blocks Cagnoni from coming up. And it shouldn't, but it does.
Yeah. Unless we're just going to decide to start playing a lefty on the right, you're right. It stops the Cagnoni from coming up unless we have another left-handed injury, which you don't ever want to.
I think it will really hinge. Yeah, it's going to hinge on the severity of the Lilljegren injury, right? I think if Tim is out long term, I think it's more palatable to keep Sam up. But if it's a couple game injury, I still see it being a very difficult decision for Greer to make. I think it's easier to make that decision to keep him if Lilljegren's out longer term.
Yeah, and I think the thing is too, I think Sam Dickinson got to 9 games so quickly because of the injuries on the blue line so far. Mm-hmm. I think if they had their way, they probably would have done more than, I think Michael Misa is still a few games away, a couple of games, I think maybe at this point, away from them having to make a similar decision there. And obviously there's the contract situation that they have to figure out as well. So I'm fascinated to see what the Sharks are going to do here, obviously, mm-hmm. but it'll be.
Well, and I know a lot of people are talking about trades, and the problem is it's a really weird period of time during the year to start trying to make trades.
I don't know. I still think if you can fuck a guy off for futures though,
oh sure, people are talking about Leddy or Klingberg or
that's not going to happen. They're going to fuck someone off on the
talk about forever, but I'm like, I just don't see it. What teams are biting on that right now?
No one. And that's not the way you do it either. You take a look at a guy who is on an NHL contract on the Barracuda that you have that you're basically on their last limb of doing something here, and you send one of them somewhere for future considerations. I think you'd easily do that. That's the play.
Yeah. And putting Dickinson back into the O is just going to be a waste of time. I know, you and I have never seen eye to eye on how you manage like the blue line in terms of like, oh, do we waive Letty or Klingberg, blah 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 blah.
Well, I just don't think those guys. It's easy to say that, but that's not what they're gonna do.
I know, but I'm just like, realistically, what gets the Sharks the most value right now? Keeping them or sending them off to either they go to the AHL or somebody claims them or whatever, trade them. I don't really care. You're right. I want Cagnoni. Oh my God.
For sure. Yeah.
Lammy, $2.79 Canadian. So that's Tyler looking kind of cute today. Okay, I guess you gotta admire her there, Tyler.
We can't ship Dickinson to Sweden because he did not come from Sweden. That's not how that works.
Yeah, I'll just off to Sweden with you.
I don't think you could loan it. Like I'm sure they could. Maybe I don't want to say 100% no, but I'm pretty sure because he never came from there. Like the London Knights have his. If he's not playing in the NHL, London has the rights to have him back.
Yeah.
So there would probably have to be. I'm not going to say 100% no, but I'm 98% certain that you can't do that.
Are you reading chat too? Because it's bothering me.
Yeah, Chris saying Tyler bringing real Gen Z energy, holding the mic instead of mounting. He's bringing that Riz. Oh, this is so funny. All right, guys. Well, I think we're devolving here a little bit. Let's wrap this thing up and call it an afternoon, shall we? So, the Sharks end up beating the Colorado Avalanche 3-2 in overtime. The Sharks will be back at you tomorrow against Detroit. My good friend, Mr. Ian Reed will be hosting the.
No, I will not. Nope.
Oh,
no. It's too late. It's past my bedtime. Like, I wanted to do it, but it's way past my bedtime. Puckeye and AJ are going to be doing a Pucknologist tomorrow after the game. Unfortunately, I can't. It's too late. The game starts too late, and then it would be over really late, and then no, I can't do it. I need so many hours of sleep to function at work, and I've learned this the hard way many times. And so as much as I want to be there tomorrow on the Pucknologist, I can't. But I'll be back next week on Pucknologist, so it'll be good.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. It's AJ and Puckeye with Ian having the night off to sleep. Tyler, I think we'll start the final thoughts off with you. What's your final thoughts on where the people can find you?
Time to knock another team that's at the top of the league off the pedestal.
Oh,
because who would have thought that Red Wings were at the top of the league too? That was not in my season beginning predictions.
Yeah, and that was not on the bingo card for me either. Ian, same to you.
You were gonna hit the super chat here?
Yeah, I actually got another one now in here too. So okay. Rob Iman, thank you so much for the $5.99. The AHL and ECHL needs to be overhauled so there's less beer league guys down there and more opportunities to develop.
It's difficult, right? Because here's the problem, right? Now there are rules in place so that they play more, especially in the AHL. There's rules in place so that like guys that are supposed to be there to develop are getting more time. You can only dress so many veterans that have played over a certain game a night. But here's the problem. When you're a team like the Colorado Eagles, or you're a team like the farm team of, let's say, the Edmonton Oilers or the Florida Panthers, which I believe is the Charlotte Checkers. Yep. The problem here is like these teams don't have enough guys to send down there because they draft, they're using their draft capital in order to acquire things that are helping them win right now. So you need like some of these veteran guys kicking around, and unfortunately, when you don't draft the top tippy top prospects, like you still have to fill those rosters and have players for those to play with. So I think it's a nice sentiment, and I think like the Sharks could learn from it because they have it seems like they have like a ton of prospects down there right now, and it just doesn't seem like they have the right mix of guys to help them, be good consistently. That it's a nice dream to like, we need top prospects down here and nothing else, but like it's some teams just don't have top prospects, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Logan Teal, 86.96 with a $2 donation. This is for AJ to buy a beer.
That's
We'll
not
have to
what the
let him
super
know.
chats do. It's not how
Yeah.
it works.
Well, super chats, thank you so much this evening. And from all of us, thank you so much for checking us out. Of course, we would be remiss to tell you if we didn't about where you can find us and if you want to be a part of the show. So in case you missed us and you want to see the show again, hear it again, smash the like, the sub, and the bell buttons across the YouTube. And then, of course, if you want to get us on the audio form, check us out on the Apple Podcasts, the YouTube Music. Of course, you got the SoundCloud, the Spotify, TuneIn, iHeart, and the Odyssey app. Of course, all that and more at tealtownusa.com. And let's see, let's start to get out of here, right? So for my final thoughts and where I'm at, my first name is Eric, E-R-I-K, last name Landi, L-A-N-D-I, across all of the social media garbage. And you know what? Let the good times keep on rolling, guys. I just want to continue to see some really good wins. The 3-2 varieties. Hell, if you can sprinkle in some 3-2 losses, but again, continue to have some good goaltending, some good defensive structure, and lean on those kids to drive the offense because they are fun and exciting. So for all of us, thank you for tuning in this afternoon. You know how we roll. It's keep it real, keep it teal, and keep it real teal. Thank you, everybody, for checking us out this afternoon, and we shall see you after the game tomorrow.